Okay, so the first thing I need to do is to work out the two components. So knowing that this object has been fired at 100 meters per second, okay, at an angle of 30 degrees, isn't any use in terms of solving the problem, because I need to know those two components. Okay, so the horizontal and the vertical components. Okay, so I need to know those horizontal and vertical components, because that's what's going to be included in my list of variables, list of things that I know. So if I shrink that down again, so the horizontal component is adjacent to the angle that's given. So that helps remind you that it's a cost component. So the horizontal velocity, right, is the u cos theta. Right, we often use theta as the angle in physics. So here that will be 100 times cos 30. Okay, if somebody want to calculate that for me and shout it out, and I'll start the working for the vertical velocity. I think it might be 86, 87, something like that. For the vertical velocity, well, it's the other component. So it's the sine theta component. And that should come out to 50. Somebody check, is it 86? Yeah. Okay, does that make sense? You all understand where I'm getting that from? Those two components. Right, so there's my angle. It's quite small, but there's my angle in there. Right, the adjacent one down the bottom. Oh, sorry, it's 400, it's not 100. Okay, so that should be a 400, that should be a 400. Good start. That's 200. That's 246. Okay, so there's the two components. Sorry, 346. I'm just. The working's actually on the page beside me as well. So we've got those two components, and often that's the very first part of the question that you'll be asked to do. And now what I'll do in this first page is just list everything that I know under my horizontal and vertical headings. So under my horizontal heading, all I know is the velocity, and that's 346 meters per second. So I don't know S, and I don't know T. Okay, we'll see later on which questions we're being asked. Under the vertical heading, I know that U is 200 meters per second. Remember, it's the initial velocity that you're being given there. I know that A will be minus 9.8, but I can't fill in anything else yet until I look and see, well, which part of the motion is the question asking me? Is it asking me about the top? Is it asking me about the whole thing? Okay, so that's all I'm going to fill in for now. You happy with those? And then we're going then to the next page and solve for that. Most pupils prefer to work out the time of flight by working out the time to the highest point and then doubling it. Remember, that only works for symmetrical. So we're looking at the vertical motion, and what we had listed, remember, was U equals 200, A equals minus 9.8. And if we're dealing with the highest point, now we can fill in for ourselves that V is 0 at the highest point. The vertical motion is 0. And I'm wanting the time. Okay? And that's quite an easy equation to solve, because it's just the V equals U plus AT. Plugging in what we know and just making sure you've got all the signs right, you should get a positive value of time. If you ever get a negative value of time, go back and check that you've got minus signs in the right place. 200 minus 9.8 times t. Okay, so 9.8t equals 200. I'm adding 9.8t to both sides, and then divide both sides by 9.8. and we get the time to the highest point then is 20.4 seconds. But if you do use this approach, then it's really important that you remember you've got to double that to get the time for the whole journey. So time of flight is 2 times that. It's 40.8 seconds. So that's your final answer for part A. In part B, you're asked the greatest height reached. Now height, remember, is a vertical, so we're still under the vertical heading, and I can use the same data that I've listed above because that V equals 0 was talking about the highest point. So basically I'm being asked S at that highest point. Now I've now got a choice because I've got U, A and V listed there, but I also now know T to the highest point, the 20.4. So I could actually use any of those values to work out S. But I'll just go with the equation S equals UT plus a half AT squared because it's S equals something. I could use V squared equals U squared plus 2AS as well. And that's what I mean. Quite often there's more than one way of solving these problems. So plugging in, that's 200 times 20.4 plus, or actually it'll be minus, but I'll just put it in, plus a half times minus 9.8 times 20.4 squared. We're all happy why I'm using the 20.4 there rather than the 40.8. And just plug all that into calculator. To 3 significant figures, if you remember that, as a kind of rule of thumb for rounding off your final answers. We get S is 2040. And we get a positive answer here. The displacement, the object's on the way up, so the displacement's positive. So the maximum height is 2040 metres to 3 significant figures. Okay. In part C, right, we're now being asked things about the horizontal. And asked is the horizontal range. Range just means horizontal displacement at the end of the journey. So how far did it travel at the end of the journey? So for part C, we're dealing with horizontal. Now if you just want to use an H and a V to be clear in each question, that's fine. I'm writing out the word horizontal. And what we know about that, remember, well, right back at the start, we'd worked out that for the horizontal motion, the velocity was 346, the horizontal component. And this time, because it's asking us about the total range, I'm going to use the 40.8 seconds, the total time of flight. And then S equals question mark. And remember, for horizontal motion, it's just simple S equals VT. So that's 346 times 40.8 is 14,100 metres to 3 significant figures. Okay, so that's part C. And then for part D, it said the velocity of the projectile after 10 seconds of flight. Now, can you remember when I said a wee hint yesterday, if it asks for the velocity, what velocity does it mean? Resultant. So I need to know after 10 seconds what the horizontal velocity is and what the vertical. Now for the horizontal, that's quite easy because it doesn't change. Right? So after 10 seconds, right, the horizontal velocity, so I'll put that as VH, is still going to be 346, but I need to work out the vertical. So once again, I go back and say, what do I know about the vertical? I know that U was 200 metres per second. I know that A is minus 9.8. And in this question, in this part, I'm being asked T. So I can't use any of the data from earlier because the data earlier was asking me things like over the whole journey or at the highest point. This is just 10 seconds, so it's a different point in the journey. So I have to do a fresh calculation here to get the vertical velocity. So that's V equals U plus AT is 200 minus 9.8 times 10. Okay, so that's minus 98, so that's 102 meters per second. So that's the vertical velocity. And then a quick sketch now to find the resultant velocity. I know the horizontal is 346. I know the vertical is 102. So the resultant, which I usually draw with a double arrow, then I can use my Pythagoras trig. So a squared equals b squared plus c squared. 346 squared plus 102 squared. I should have the working in here somewhere. Yep. That will give me the A, if you go through the working, is 361. Don't have space to put in all the working. And if I call that in there theta, you can call it x if you want incidentally, but just in the SQA we'll often use theta for it. In this case, to work out theta, I've got the two components, so I've got the opposite and the adjacent. So it's opposite over adjacent. It's 102 over 346. Rearranging that, I get theta is 16.4 degrees. So this velocity, or the resultant velocity, after 10 seconds, v equals 361 meters per second at 16.4 degrees above horizontal. So in the last couple of days, we've been dealing with things on the way down, but this one's on the way up still. Right, that vertical velocity is positive. And then the worked example had one more bit to it, so I'm kind of trying to cover lots of different ways. The height of the projectile after 5 seconds. So once again, I'm kind of back to the drawing board. It's a kind of a different time, so it's a different question. So after 5 seconds, so I can still use my v equals 200 meters per second. Sorry, that's u. I can use my a equals minus 9.8 and my t equals 5 seconds. And I'm being asked s, I'm being asked the height, so I'm being asked the vertical displacement. So this is the vertical part, and then I can use s equals ut plus a half at squared. Now it's unlikely that you will get a question in an exam with so many bits, but this is a worked example just trying to kind of show you a wide variation of different types of questions that you might be asked. Okay, plug all that in and you get 878 meters. So the height after 5 seconds is 878 meters.